United Spurs of America, with your hosts, Michael and Jacob.
Hello, everyone, and welcome into another edition of the United Spurs of America podcast with your hosts, as always, Michael and Jacob, coming to you live following Tottenham's 6-2 victory over Leicester City at Tottenham Hotspur Stadium in the Premier League. Tottenham is now third once again in the league, tied for second, third on goal differential with City, only 1 point back from first. Antonio Conte is our manager, and Jacob... Heung-min Hung. Heung-min Dad. Heung-min Son is back, my friend.
That's
How
right.
are we doing?
I actually
I
feel dumb. I should have put on my Sun kit, and I literally just thought about it as you were doing that magnificent intro. I decided to put on the new kit. It just came in today. My wife washed it nice for me, so I'm feeling great. Sonny's on the score sheet, got 3 and 1 as a sub. I mean, come on. What more do you want to see?
First Premier League hat trick by a substitute in history. First player to ever do it in Premier League history.
I thought someone said it was like the 7th.
I think it's the first, my friend.
Because I heard first, and then I said that somewhere, and I'm pretty sure... Excuse me. I'm pretty sure Cubed... I'm pretty sure she was like, it's actually 7. I don't care.
Well,
to me, it's the first. I refuse to believe that there was 6 other people that did it. Yeah.
To me, it's the first. And
I don't give a
only one
shit.
that matters.
Exactly.
In my opinion.
It's technically the sexiest, too.
Look, man. Everyone, and I mean everyone, was going in on Sonny to start the season. Yeah, he may have had a slow start. But my friend, this is a spiritual experience during this epi, and I just want to start it off with this.
Oh yeah, I mean we're starting off with a bang.
We have to dive right in. So if you're listening on Spotify, go to the video right now, and if you're watching right now live or playing it back on YouTube or Twitch, we are live on Twitch.
Shout out Twitch.
But also shout out everyone who's watching this right now on video, because this is a spiritual experience that you're about to undertake today.
I would also say it's a sensual experience. It's not just spiritual.
I'm wearing my kit backwards on purpose in honor of Son. But look, like I was saying, man, so many people were on Son's back. Oh, man, he's struggling. Drop Son. Okay, finally dropped Son. Now you see why you can't drop Son. And now you see why if you do drop Son, he's going to tell you why, and he's going to show you why he deserves to be in this 11. So, yes, Heung-min Dad, Heung-min Hung, Heung-min Son did start on the bench. It was a different 11, though, Jacob. Let's go ahead and get into it, my friend. Let's go front to back. You already know, we hitting it on both ends. But first, we want to shout out our Patreon supporters. If you want to become a supporter, an official supporter of the United Spurs of America podcast, join on patreon.com/United Spurs of America. Our patrons already in our Soggy Undies Club, the one, the only Alan 10-inch Sibley, the 10-inch Club, Queen Ellie, Tottenham Till I Die, Leo COYS 1882 from Mile High Hotspur, shout out, Goguma,
Shout him out.
C. Shearman, and Faraz, all in the 10-inch Club. And the official sponsors club, James Joris, J.Co., Mile High Hotspur again, and Scott M.
Big up. Did I delete it yet? Did I delete the Anchor Club? No, I didn't.
Oh, you didn't. Lovers Lane Club, 3 Spurs Boys, C Cubed, shout out. And Jacob just dropped it in the chat. Go ahead and click that link. It is right here. We also want to say big up to everyone in the chat. Mile High Hotspur Leo, thank you for tuning in, my friend. C Cubed.
Big up.
Big up. And Thaj, what's going on, my man? Thank you for tuning in today. C Cube says no, it's the 7th. No, C Cubed, it's not. It's the first.
I'm
one and only.
I don't see it. Don't talk to me now. Come on, I don't see it.
How's it going, David? Thank you for tuning in. Mile High Hotspur says, I admit I was one of them. Yeah, hey, look, man. everyone's a sinner at some point in their life, right? We all make mistakes, but you know
We all
what?
make
It's
mistakes.
about how we learn from them and move forward, Leo. So you know what? I forgive you. I'm sure Jacob forgives you. But
Oh
look,
yeah.
let's get into the 11 real quick, and then we'll get into Sonny, and then we'll get into the rest of the game because this was an absolute banger, especially in the second half. Goals galore when we switched to a certain formation. But Jacob, we started in a 4-3-3 like usual. You know, same tactics, same old, you know, but with different players. There were a few changes in the 11. Ryan Sessegnon comes in on left wing back. Ivan Perisic moves over to the right. So I got my prediction wrong. I thought Spence was going to be in that 11 just because of my gut feeling. I don't know. I just had a feeling. But instead, Conte elected to go with a, I guess, more reliable route, much more experienced route in Ivan Perisic. Davinson Sanchez came into the 11 as well, along with Clementine, Jacob, your favorite. And then Kulusevski replaced Son in the 11 as well, up top in the attack. Richarlison came off, Sonny came on, and things changed. We'll get into that a little bit later. But Jacob, when you looked at this 11, besides obviously the Sonny omission, what were your overall thoughts? Were you concerned? Were you okay? Were you comforted?
I think for a lot of reasons, I was a little excited just because Perisic on the right was something I heard floating around that might happen. Let's see what Sessegnon can give us. I mean, we know Antonio Conte alluded to the fact that Emerson Royale was going to be seeing some rotation, and along with that, we could have assumed that he also meant Heung-min Daddy was going to get some rotation. But at the end of the day, we've got 4 really competent forwards, so I knew it was only a matter of time. If he's on the bench, then I knew it was a matter of time till he came off it and did something. Now, when he got that, okay, never mind. Sorry, let me dial it back. I was about to start talking about Heung-min's son. I gotta calm it down.
That comes next, my friend.
Look at that. It's like water squirt emojis all night, baby.
There we go.
I mean, come on. So let me take a step back. Davinson Sanchez out there, I was a little like 50-50 because Romero's been a little 50-50. So I wasn't too upset about that one. The Perisic Sessegnon, I wanted to see how that would work out. Also, Clementine, I wanted to see a little bit more of him. And so that was good that he was out there starting as well. I think the midfield's kind of what we've come to expect, despite the name on the back of the jersey I'm wearing right now. I think this is probably the most competent we have as far as if we're going 2 in the midfield. I know we're going to talk formation a little bit later, but for me, this was a solid 11. Leicester's not your Cities, your Uniteds, Chelsea's.
Especially this season.
They're bottom of the league.
Table,
1 point.
1 point out of 7 games, man. It's not good.
Come on, man. So I like to see it, honestly, because fuck Leicester. But this lineup, when I looked at it, I was like, okay, this seems like a solid enough lineup to go out there and do something versus Leicester. And Leicester was keeping up with us because you know how we like to let teams keep up with us. We like to leave that door open in case they want to show up to the party. And unfortunately, we let him into the party.
We invited him inside.
James Maddison with an insane shot. Really had people up off their seats and feeling like this is the guy we should have went and got. He would have solved so much for Conte. But regardless of what you think, it was a quality goal from James Maddison. Who scored their first one, actually? It was a penalty. That's right. It was that retaken penalty. Tielemans is a bitch.
But look, man, when we're looking at this 11, obviously Sessegnon comes in. He had been playing decent to start the season, and then he kind of, it was kind of like the same old Sessegnon we were kind of used to, where he just kind of falls off, has one bad game, and then kind of lets it get to him, and roller coaster ride.
40 good minutes, 40 bad minutes.
He comes into the frame on the left-hand side. Obviously, Conte trusts him. He has been trusting him this season. Perisic comes out to the right. I was okay with that. Obviously, it's something different. We hadn't seen it before. But we knew going into this season that it was a possible option at right wing back. We just knew it. And finally, we got to see it unfolded. What's going on, Jayco? Official sponsor, by the way, of our Patreon.
Also, this is the first comment we've ever gotten on Twitch. I just wanted to highlight it real quick. Diggs, by the way, 7.
Shout out Trayvon Diggs.
Yeah, Trayvon Diggs. He's the best corner in the league. But continue.
You mentioned it, Jacob, that this was probably our most competent duo in terms of like a midfield duo in this formation, Højbjerg and Bentancur. Bentancur hadn't been playing very well. We had been giving him some flack. He scores his first goal in a Spurs shirt. And it was a very, very well-earned goal. Like, just hungry, ownership, bias for action, hungry, going for blood, going for the throat, Conte ball. This is the Conte mentality. You look at the back line. Dyer had been struggling a little bit recently. He ends up bagging a goal in this game. Longley comes in for Davies. Davies misses out through injury. He is on the bench. He was on the bench, I believe, but misses out through injury in the 11. And then you already mentioned Sanchez comes in as well on the right-hand side. So the back three, not as familiar, not as what we're used to in terms of familiarity.
What the hell was Sanchez doing? Come on, man.
Sanchez forces a penalty for Leicester, who ultimately capitalizes on it. And then I just want to say real quick, man, because I feel like they don't get the credit sometimes that they deserve, and I feel like maybe we don't give him as much credit as he deserves on this show. Hugo had an incredible game. So many great world-class saves. Yes, he did let 2 in. One of them was a great penalty. Second penalty, you already mentioned it, Jacob. He did save a first one. It was forced to be retaken because he did jump off the line just slightly before Tielemans kicked the ball. But regardless, dude,
no, he didn't.
We had talked about it.
He didn't. I don't care what the replay said. He did not. Hugo Lloris saved that thing, and they robbed him.
We had talked about it in the middle of the game, Jacob, how well Hugo was playing. So I just want to say real quick, and we'll talk about him in a little bit, but when we're talking about the 11, just want to say shout out Hugo, incredible game. It shows you why time and time again that he is world class. He did pick up apparently an injury. We'll talk about it in a little bit when we get into maybe some international stuff. Maybe we'll save it for Friday though, because we do have a Friday show right here on YouTube at 12:30 Mountain Time, 7:30 p.m. UK time, and Twitch as well.
Big up.
Please make sure to tune into that on Friday. All right, Jacob.
Yes, sir.
First hat trick in my book by a substitute in Premier League history. He is back. And all I got to say is shh. Heung-min's son scores a hat trick in his so many people were giving him flack. So many people were giving him stick for his performances. Yeah, wasn't at his best. Dude, seriously, all bias aside, you look at that from a neutral standpoint. Hugely impressive goals, first off, especially the first two. Third was just a nice finish. Barely went in, but still nice finish. Both goals from outside the box. One with the right, one with the left. Both beauties. One was a banger, one was a curler. What more can you say about this man? He is back. He is back, my friend. Look me in the eye real quick.
Oh, I'm looking.
He is back.
Oh, ooh, gives me little shivers. I mean, it's like when Freddy Krueger comes to town and he haunts your nightmares. And I think Pep Guardiola is a little upset because he wanted Sonny at his lowest, and now he's gonna get a full fire in Sonny whenever that happens. But shout out C Cubed. She says it great. If you don't stand by Sonny at his worst, you don't deserve him at his best, because the boy always comes good. Class is permanent. And what's up, football? I agree. Class is definitely permanent.
Roll back the tape last week. Roll back the tape 2 weeks ago. Roll back the tape 3 weeks ago. On this show, we stuck by Son. I did call for him to be dropped because of his form on the last episode, but by no means was I giving him any flack for his performances. I knew he would come good. Form is temporary, my friend. Class is permanent.
And I think that a little bit of people get offended when you say dropped, and I think rotation's a little bit more sensitive to people. But for me personally, I always felt like it was just he's gonna come good this week. Every week I just kind of felt like that. Now if that makes me delusional, blind, I don't give a really fuck if what you think. At the end of the day, I believe in Heung-min's son, Heung-min dad, Heung-min hung. Heung-min third tripod leg motherfucker standing on his head looking at. Come on. I mean, this man does things that you can only do in FIFA. Curlers with both feet from outside the box. Like, that first one, if I may, Michael, I'm just going to take a second here, because that first goal, for me, we can debate which shot was more beautiful, which shot I think was more skillful. But to me, my favorite goal was that first one, because not only did in myself I could feel a weight being lifted, I could breathe. I really wanted to cry for the man. I seen him standing there. He didn't celebrate. He just stood there. Everyone's cheering, going crazy. his brothers are grabbing him and lifting him up and, trying to get something out of him. And you could tell, man, it felt so good for him. And I think when you look at all the goals he's ever scored in like a Tottenham kit, for me, this has to be up there because not only was it a beautiful shot that he took on, moved it to the right whenever he saw homeboy with the caveman hair coming through. He took a step to the right, and if you look at that ground angle, bro, the thing is like this, right? The crossbar,
It
that's kind of fucked up.
like
yeah, like that, bro. He shot it. It went over the crossbar, curled back. I mean, it was just like, bro, that's shit I do in FIFA.
Certified banger.
It's just sometimes not fair for the opposition, but it's what we deserve as Tottenham fans, and it's what he deserves. And he even said in the post-match interview with Spurs play, he said that he really thought it was about to hit the crossbar. He didn't even think it was going in because of all the bad luck he's just been having. And if you think about it, everyone's been riding his back so hard lately. But if you look at each game that where even you want to say he had a bad performance, okay, week 1 he had an assist, so that's a goal contribution off the bat. And then in the following weeks, Reece James is tackling him. He has one off the post, has another one off the crossbar, has another one that's an own goal, like that he was right there ready for. And he said all this in his post-match interview, and it really got me thinking, like, man, he's just been unlucky. And then everyone starts shitting on him, and that shit really makes me mad because he doesn't deserve that. He deserves to be uplifted and to be held in this elite status, this world-class status that we know him to be. And like Cube said, class is permanent. But that first goal, Michael, I think I text you. I think I hit a few WhatsApp groups. Straight up, bro, I was about to cry. Like, I felt overwhelmed with emotion. The second one goes in, and my wife seen it, and it was just like he took that shit on his left foot. And I remember at first I was like, Kane, shoot it. Kane, shoot it. And then he passed it to Sonny. I was like, Sonny, shoot it. And he just fucking shot it. I'm getting a little emotional right now thinking about it because it was just left foot, right foot, middle foot. It don't matter. He curling that bitch in there. And I mean, when you look at the third goal, it was hard to get like excited about because you were like worried about offsides, etc. But to me, watching that third one go in, I literally, like, my hands were shaking. I start sweating. I'm about to cry. I don't believe what I'm seeing. I'm like, this must, when am I going to wake up and then the Tottenham game's about to happen? Like, this is a dream. So for me, on a personal level, I'm at a loss for words. I really am. When your favorite player, a person you look up to who's younger than you, is going through these moments where people are doubting him. They're saying he's past his prime, saying he's dusted, saying he should be benched, saying we should sell him while we can still get money from him. Like, all this shit, to me, I just took it. I just take it. You know what I mean? Cubes, I'm sure, is in the same boat. You just take it. You just take it and just wait because you know this motherfucker going to prove you right. And that's what he did. And it's not necessarily proving me right. It's proving himself right to everybody else. Me too included, because I'm wondering when it's going to come. I'm wondering when Sonny's going to do everything that we know he's going to do. So for me, man, it was a damn emotional moment. It was damn good to see. The first one was sublime. It was prolific. It undulated my tentacles. It was just like, it was a thing of like, I can't even, I'm
beauty.
I'm trying to find words, but I can't because my vocabulary is not to this upper, like, I haven't elevated.
You know what my vocabulary was? And I literally texted you the same thing of how I reacted to the first goal. Do you remember what it was? I'm going to repeat it, and I'm going to repeat the whole thing right now, but before I do it, do you remember what I texted you?
Honestly, my friend, we text so much that it's like,
it was like, dude.
Oh, was it our voice messages?
That was, no, I think I just put like, oh, like H, like a whole bunch of H's. But when that first goal went in, it was, it's hard to explain, man. It really is. It really is. But you saw in the celebration, well, I guess lack thereof, more of just like, shut the fuck up, haters. But you saw his reaction after the goal. I think the announcer even said it. Shout out at whoever the fuck. But
Peter Drury?
You could tell how much that goal meant to him. and you could tell there was just like an imaginary weight, like a figurative weight, just like collapsing from his shoulders, and just like him brushing it off, setting it to the side. It's like breaking loose from the chains that are holding you down. Like you could just tell he was down, bro. And he mentioned it, like you already said, in post match on the interview he did with Spurs Play. You could just tell how much it meant to him. You could tell how badly and desperate he wanted it. And he even said it afterwards, how much he wanted the fans to be proud of him, how much he wanted the fans to be happy, just to like make this club proud, make everyone proud. Sonny, we are proud and we are glad you were back, my friend. But
yes,
first
glad
goal,
to see Shearman's here as well. Remember the
Shearman,
10-inch club
official,
says
10-inch club
orgasmic.
member.
That's a great word.
Orgasmic.
Shout out Shearman.
You can label it however you want, ladies and gentlemen, but it was world class. Like seriously, world class was on display on Saturday.
Yeah,
and it was incredible to watch. Like honestly, like it's just we continue to watch history when we watch this club. And yeah, you can make fun of us for not winning trophies, but we already saw Harry Kane. We witnessed Harry Kane, him make history, create his own history. We've seen time and time again Sonny create history, scoring the first goals for the Jose era, the first goal for the Conte era. Like there's just so many milestones. The first goal of the new stadium. Like there is so many historical moments and like just milestones that we have gotten and had the privilege to witness over the past 5-10 years or so. But Saturday was like just truly special on both like an emotional level and like on a neutral level. Everyone was impressed. The entire internet, like soccer Twitter, just the soccer internet was all focused on Son. Like literally everyone was focused on what Son was doing. He scored the first. All right, we got everyone, Sonny just scored, he's back. He scored the second. All right, everyone, seriously, we got to like you got to tune into this game. Like it's going down. He scores the third and it's just absolute scenes. But for me, like it's just a privilege, man, honestly.
Speaking of privilege,
new member?
We got a new member. Sorry, I missed this email. This came in about 8 minutes ago. David became an official sponsor.
Thank you, David.
Big up, David.
Thank you, David.
I'm not going to say your full government because I think I see it here, but I'm going to add you down to the ticker below, my friend, as an official sponsor. One day, Michael, I'm going to have a soundboard, and when we get like new people signed up,
be like a
meh, meh. Oh, I was thinking like that annoying ass horn and reggaeton, that meh, 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 meh. That's what I was thinking, but we can work on it. We can work on that soundboard later. Big up, David. I'm going to work on that, Michael. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you, but sometimes things are worth interrupting.
You're good, man. I was wrapping up my point. Like, just look, bottom line, we're witnessing history once again. Like, we're witnessing another milestone, and we're just watching a world-class player, just play the game that he's incredibly good at, one of the best at in the world. But yeah, Jacob, I don't know if you have any final thoughts on Sonny before we move into the other goal scorers. We did have another milestone, like I already mentioned, Rodrigo Bentancur, but we can get into him in a little bit.
Yeah, also, while we're on Son, the fact that Kane assisted one of those, again, this is one of those...
That was special. That was the curler.
Yeah. I mean, both of them were curlers. If you look at them from Sonny's level, like field level view, they were both curlers. Now, there was a lot more height than curl on the second one. Yeah. But that is a goal he's done versus Leicester on 3 different occasions. Yep. At the King Power and now twice at home. Man, what a dude. What a dog. What is it about Leicester where he's just like, fuck it, I'm going to curl this in? That's, I wonder what's going on there. Maybe he secretly hates him. I don't know. Maybe it's Jamie Vardy because he's a racist against the Asians. Maybe that's what it is. I don't know, but fuck Jamie Vardy. Sonny, the third one, it's one of those things where he's going to get his hat trick. Once he had the second one, the universe was going to give him that third one. And that's just how I feel about it because at the end of the day, he's that world class. You can't hold him down. It was serendipitous. It was coming. It was all forms of coming. So big ups, Sonny, my favorite player in the world, the sexiest player in the world, the third leggiest player in the world.
I just got to pull it up one more time before we move on. I just have to. It's like a requirement at this point.
There it is. I mean, if you tune in to Pop Up with Jacob, which is a show I do here on this channel, this is a free. I pretty much just, when people are talking at any moment, I could put up and I just ask people, are you team denim or are you team nipples? Because if you remember from
I'm
the
both.
shoot,
I can see both in this one.
but see, you only get a little taste.
I can still see both. This is both.
But see, look at
I'm
this
about it.
one. Look at this one though.
That is truly both.
That's
Yeah, that
full
is
breast.
Truly both.
That's full tit, bro. So I mean, I just think I'm team nipples. Always have been. Always will be. Them things shining. It was a great photo shoot,
man.
and everyone was talking shit, saying, "Oh, you know, his endorsements, all this shit, that all the attention he's getting has made him fall off." Well, you know what? Heung-min daddy always comes to get his.
The last thing that I'll say on Son real quick. I'm sorry, Jacob, I forgot. I think I just there were just random times throughout the past few weeks where I would just text you random hour, just no heads up whatsoever. And I would just be like, he's going to be fine. Or, bro, we're going to be fine. Or, bro,
Yeah.
Sonny is going to be okay. Sonny's fine. And I'm glad we finally got to reap the benefits. I'm just so happy, man.
I'll never forget that you sent me one. It was a graphic through 8 games. He has 0 goals 3 years ago. Ended the campaign with 20. I mean, he probably about to do that shit again.
If he scores 20 this year, then there's a really good chance that we make a decent run at one of these cups, one of these trophies. Because
1,000.
that means that probably Harry Kane's firing, and then now you have Richarlison to the mix. Look at how many goal scorers we've had so far, man. Kulusevski, Dyer, now Bentancur is even getting into the frame. Sessegnon is scoring goals now. There's so many different outlets that are actually producing on the field stats, on the field goals. It's not oh yeah, he's good, but just doesn't have that final ball, or just doesn't have that end product. These guys are getting on the score sheet now. Mm-hmm. More people are contributing. It's not the Kane and Son show anymore. Yes, Dyer. It can be. Yes, it can be. Dyer's got 3.
3? I thought he only had 2.
2. Sorry.
Oh, I was like, damn.
I was thinking of the preseason one.
Yeah, he did have that.
Preseason one was a banger.
That lefty curler. He trying to be Heung-min daddy. I mean, I love it. Real quick, shout out David. Big up, guys. Love your content, passion for Sonny. Newest member of the official supporters club. Big up yourself, David. Thank you for being a part of the growth of this channel and a part of my heart, near and dear to me. So big up yourself. Potomac says, Klopp criticized Spurs for playing our world-class attacker. Defend most of the game. He's right. Son will be bagging goals for fun if he's played up in the top 2. Which I think is...
We'll get into that formation in a little bit because I have a lot to say about that.
Yeah, I know you do. I know. We both... Remember that thing I sent you on the text? That little video? Man. Yeah, I know we're going to talk about it. Look at that photo, bro. I mean, get that old dude in a suit out the way. Both of them.
Out the way. But that's incredible, man. Just beautiful. Beautiful. All right, let's get into the other goal scorers real quick, Jacob. Harry Kane was our first goal scorer of this game. Just want to give a shout out, please, and pay our respects, not to the Queen, but to the King of North London, Harry Kane. He did get on the score sheet in the 8th minute.
What a dog.
Eric Dyer, like you already mentioned, he got on the score sheet as well. And then I want to get into Bentancur, man, because we had been giving him a lot of stick, and he deserves a lot of love now. He scored his first official goal for Tottenham, first goal in a Spurs shirt. But what was more impressive to me, and I know what was more impressive to you, was how it happened.
Mm-hmm.
Pouncing on an opportunity, quick in transition, real stiff with the ball, real tight.
Oh yeah,
very, very good dribbling
real
down
tight
the pitch. Real tight and stiff.
Oh yeah,
and then a nice tidy finish into the bottom right corner.
Ooh, just a little tucky. I mean, honestly, it all happened so soon. Yeah.
For the lead.
Bentancur. This guy I've been upset with him, right? If you're rewinding the tape, I'm gonna call it like it is. I definitely said I was getting annoyed with him because I felt like he was not being aggressive and he was falling into wingsitis and starting to just back pass and not really hold on to the ball and try and possess it. What he did on that goal, his first goal for Tottenham Hotspur, he was aggressive as shit, and he went and won that ball from that man, took it, and when I saw him winding up to shoot, I was like, oh, here we go. This is going to be another Bentancur special. Excuse me. It's going to be another Bentancur Bentancur special. But you know what? I'm sorry, Benny. He must listen to our pod, bro. Because or the pop up, because on pop up and on our episodes and on our Friday shows, I've been saying that I need to see something else from him, and he definitely showed me something else, something we ain't seen him do. And if he can continue to do shit like that with what he's already done well, he's giving a definite. That's the thing is Højbjerg and Bentancur have separately made cases as to why they're trying to keep Bissouma on the bench, but. You can't you can't stop. You can't stop the monsoon, bro.
All right, we're getting into it. So Big Dick Bissouma comes in the second half. Conte changes formation from a 3-4-3 to a 3-5-2, and Jacob immediately we look like a completely different team. Yes, we did have opportunities when we were in the 3-4-3. We were playing a lot better in the second half without going to the 3-5-2. But let's talk about it. The pressure, the energy in the midfield, that added midfielder really, really rejuvenated, in my opinion, the other two in that what became a kind of like a diamond, I guess. But, dude, the impact that Bissouma had, the impact that obviously Sonny had, these guys making impacts, and then also Conte making an impact by changing his tactics, by giving Leicester a different look, something that we hadn't seen as much as the 3-4-3. A lot of people, including myself, and I had been saying it actually, Jacob, on live streams previously, last season, how much I wanted to go to the 3-5-2. I even suggested Kulusevski playing in that number 10 behind the front too, but it wasn't Kulusevski. It wasn't, all of these players were making an impact. Before it was just like one or two players. No, the entire team changed formation, changed shape, changed their real identity. If you think about it, it was a totally different team in the last, 20, 25 minutes of the match. And then obviously Sonny taking over helped tremendously with that. But talk to me, Jacob. Like, how are we feeling on this 3-5-2? For me, moving forward, it's got to be a legitimate option that you play for, I'm sorry, but the majority of a game. You look at how much we pounced on all opportunities, how much we looked like we wanted to finish the match and keep the gas on the pedal, foot on the throat. This was the Conte ball that I had been craving. I know we had been getting a little bit of it. We hadn't been getting a whole lot just because of players not living up to their expectation, not living up to the standard of Conte ball, true Conte ball. But the 3-5-2, man, was real. It was giving me a feeling in my pants that I haven't felt since Pochettino.
It was making me feel like a spicy meatball. Like we finally got a little spicy meatball in the spaghetti that we've been trying to find. We've been, toying around with it, tweaking, and I think Conte's just not been comfortable utilizing it. But there's a video that I sent you, and it was like 30 seconds before the 3-5-2 was implemented, and it was Conte and Big Dick Bissouma.
They were locked in.
They were locked in. He was like,
he was shouting. He was you could just tell he was demanding this. It wasn't. I'm not asking you to do this when you get on the pitch. I am demanding you do this when you get on the pitch.
And what was Bissouma doing?
He delivered.
He was nodding his head. He said, "Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Let's go out there and get this done." And the rest is history. I think there's a few elements here that made that formation so successful. At least versus Leicester I feel like this is the most that we've seen of it to this point.
At least this season.
I wonder how much of it is just having that third midfielder in there and of the quality of Bissouma to add to the quality of Højbjerg and Bentancur. But also how much of it is just Heung-min Daddy being one of the two up top. I think that's where he's most successful. He gets to stay forward a little more.
Well, what worked so well under Mourinho was when Kane dropped deep, Son made runs. Son and Kane now are making runs, and you
someone
saw
else
what
can
happened.
get it to him.
You saw what happened, and we also saw Kulusevski, right? I think flex into that right wing back role for a little bit. Or am I thinking of the other game? Am I tripping here, Jacob? Remind me.
No, J. Code threw me off because he was asking. He was telling you that
we're all thrown off.
he was saying, Mike, we really need
midfield battles.
Yeah, especially against teams pressure high.
I'm telling you, man, the 3-man midfield, it just changes the entire dynamic of the game and our performances.
I really think there was another comment that Potomac had earlier. 3-man midfield gives Pierre, Bentancur, and Basuma more freedom to show their unseen talents.
They all add different qualities to the pitch.
Absolutely.
And he puts it really well. They all complement each other very, very well. You have Højbjerg, really that Viking in the midfield, that anchor. You have Bentancur, who can, play that box-to-box role, really. And Basuma, who could play a little bit higher and can drop deep as well. We've seen him play so many different roles in the midfield in his time in Brighton and also at his time here in his short time. So, all of these players bring different elements to the game. Obviously Basuma brings a little bit more flair. Bentancur brings a little bit more stability. Højbjerg adds that rock, that anchor in the midfield. These are the guys who are now starting to work well together. They're starting to get used to each other. And you can tell now that Basuma's starting to integrate himself more in terms of the formation, the style of play, the other midfielders, how they're interacting with each other. I think this is where you're going to kind of start to see the wheels churning on this Conte train this season. I know we hadn't been playing at our best to start the season, and I'll be the very first person to admit that. And I had been saying it, that we haven't been living up to our potential. Players hadn't been living up to the standard, the expectation that we need to really make a run at one of these trophies this year. I think now you can start to see the wheels turning a little bit. The only reason why I'm a little bit concerned is because of the type of goals that we're giving away, the type of chances that we're giving away to the opposition. We still need to clean up some things in the back. But now I think we may have found our little midfield mojo, and the attack is firing now. Sonny's firing now. Richarlison has been firing in the Champions League. Kane has been firing. He's got 6 goals already. Kulusevski has been firing as well and assisting. We're locked in, Jacob.
Mm-hmm. And Richarlison bagged a brace in the Champions League. So I think that all signs are pointing good because when you look at it realistically, we haven't been that great, but we've been churning out points. So I think that there's a lot to take from that. We're getting a little bit of a break now. I know Hugo Lloris is injured right now, so he might not be playing. I know as Spurs fans, we're all a little sitting on pins and needles when it comes to...
Hey, if he's fine when he comes back, I'm okay, because I'm okay if he doesn't play. Until the World Cup, I'm good, man. I'm good. I don't need to see Hugo play for France until then.
Yeah, especially
There's no reason.
Yeah, it's unnecessary.
Selfishly, it's unnecessary.
Oh yeah, I agree. Obviously. It's unnecessary. Let another little French keeper get some game time. Hugo, save yours for us because we need him when that North London Derby come around October 1st. If that date still sticks. I know they want to run from us. I know they like to run. Once a gunner, always a runner, as they say. Mm-hmm. But man, I was thinking about this 70th minute, Basuma comes in. We switch to 3-5-2. 3 minutes later, Son gets on the score sheet. And then 12 minutes after that, he has a hat trick. And it's just is this what we've been waiting for? Or are we just, starting to finally get it? Is it something I just feel like I'm skeptical to get all hyped, we're going to do this 3-5-2 more often, especially given the forwards we have and the push that they're making to keep a starting position, because I think once you go to that, you may or may not limit players like Kulusevski or Richarlison. So that's the only worrying part. I would like to see this wingback situation figured out too before we keep toying around with these. Perisic wasn't great on the right, but if you think about it, he was still the best right wingback we've had all season. So it's I don't know what the best formation is necessarily going forward, but you got to be damn excited because I think the biggest critique that people had of Antonio Conte was the fact that he wasn't using subs soon enough. He wasn't changing things when things weren't going right. Things were going right, and he still changed it. And he utilized his subs. So hey, we may be onto something. We may just be onto something. So I think there's a lot to be excited about moving forward. What's up, Jesse Dyer?
What's going on, man? He says, what is your best front line on midfield and balance? So here's the thing I will say, though, about why I guess I might need to, pull back a little bit on just going straight out, all out on the 3-5-2 moving forward. is rotation. We have a lot of games coming up. I don't know if y'all have seen the schedule in the comments, but October is jam-packed. So many midweek games, so many weekend. Like, there's going to be so many 2-3 game weeks coming up in the month of October, and it all starts, of course, with the North London Derby on October 1st. We'll definitely be previewing that next week. Make sure to stay locked in on our channel. But if you play the 3-5-2, Jacob, and I guess Jesse, also to answer your question, you run the risk of players either having a higher risk for injury because you're going to have to rotate them less, and also who are other options on the bench besides Oliver Skip for the midfield? You know what I'm saying? This is why me and you, yeah, that's true, I guess. But that is why me and you were calling out for another midfielder signing this summer, is because now, yes, we do find a system and we have a midfield trio that works very well. But in this jam-packed schedule of October, how much of that are you really going to see at any given time consistently? You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. There's so many games coming up. You can't run the risk of playing all three of these guys in a midfield trio every single game. Jesse, to answer your question, I think the best combination right now, and since that we've seen this season, the best football that we played was in the second half of this past game. So, in my opinion, the best balance of midfield and attack as of right now is what we saw to finish the game against Leicester. You have the midfield trio of Bentancur, Højbjerg, and Basuma, and then Kane and Son up top. And then you could possibly throw in Kulusevski as well. But that front and that midfield balance right there that we had seen was very, very impressive. Very, very impressive. But again, how much are you going to see of that consistently in a starting 11? Because, like I said, you run the risk of not rotating as much.
And I think that that's a pretty interesting point that you bring up, because you and I, we've had this debate, like, what's our best starting midfield moving forward? And I've always just kind of been like thinking two midfielders, that's it. Who's my best two? And in some way, shape, or form, I fit Basuma into that conversation. Now, I don't think I ever really truly thought that a 3 midfield pairing would be our best option, given the fact that we got Richarlison and Kulu up there with Kane and Son. So, and I know I've also seen someone say, Shearman said 3-5-2 with Kulu at the right wing back.
Option.
I think that's a good option for sure, but
when you jam pack all these guys in the 11, you can't do it every game.
Yeah, you can't make that rotation. But I think it begs the question, say if we're going against City, Conte was going to want to put out the best 11.
Good point. Good point, C. Shearman. Good point.
You can use Kulu as a 10 in a 3-5-2 to rotate out a midfielder.
We've seen it before. I've called for it before. I agree.
He played a little bit like that. And I just think what we've seen, especially against Leicester, I think that at least opens the door to the fact that, hey, this is something we could try that could be successful. Now, if we continue to do it, if we continue to see success doing it, that remains to be seen. But at this current moment in time, I mean, I think everyone's back to getting on their knees for Antonio Conte. I know people were questioning him.
I've always been on my knees.
I ain't left.
I'm never not on my knees.
I ain't left.
Never not on my knees for Antonio
I've been here. I've been here. He asked me if I'm praying. I said, no, sir. I'm waiting for you, Papa. But needless to say, you and I, we're Conte lovers. I mean, look at the header of the damn YouTube channel. You're kayaking with the man.
Same boat with him,
bro.
We're paddling, bro. We're on the train.
I'm there. I'm right there in case he fall. If he fall off the boat, I'm gonna get you. Conte. Come on now. Gotta calm down a little bit. What was the question? I don't know, because I'm just thinking Antonio Conte, he's so great. Everyone's back to loving him. That's really good. Everyone's back to loving Sonny. That's really good. I did put one of the options on the poll. Michael, you know I like to have fun with these polls in the chat. Yeah. Thoughts at full time. One of the answers was relieved I can stop hating on Son. And surprisingly, we do have a vote there. There's one vote. But the majority of people are saying Sonny is our father. He always will be. Or great team win / Sonny soggy undies. I was soggy all over because of what Sonny did personally.
My undies were soggy. My just like body was soggy, and my apartment was sunny. Or not so well. It was sunny, but
it was sunny and
soggy. It was sunny and soggy.
Sunny and soggy. Yeah, man. It's just so much good feelings, so many good things all about it. Real quick before we move on to our final topic, Michael, Goguma, one of the members there of the 10-inch club. Big up yourself. Hi, Jacob, Michael. I caught you. Happy to see you. Happy to see you as well.
Thank you.
We've been on
tuning
for
in,
about
Goguma.
45 minutes now. If you haven't already, hit that like, hit that subscribe. Tell your mother, tell your brother. They want to watch the show, so let them know when we're on.
Before we move on, Jacob,
Yeah.
I do want to say, and before actually we give our man of the match in BDE, because we haven't done that yet, I just want to say, man, like, appreciate all of the support from the Patreons. Appreciate all the support in the chat, all of the subscribers. We just hit a milestone this past week, 10,000 total views, 3,000 views in the last 28 days right here on YouTube. You guys have been absolutely crushing it with the love, with all the support. And I just want to say real quick, from the bottom of my heart and Jacob's as well, we just want to thank you so much, Jacob. I don't know if you want to say something as well, but just really, really appreciative of all the support recently.
Yeah, the past month has been good for our channel on a lot of different levels. We've gotten about 100 new subscribers, which if you look at our numbers, we're breaching over 300. So that's a third of our subscriber count has gone up in the past 28 days. In total, we have hit 10,000 hours, viewing hours, like you said. So that's a big milestone. 3,000 of those hours have come in the past month. So again, a third of our viewing has come in this past month. So big ups if you found us this past month. Big ups if you found us the months prior and you've been riding and fucking with us since then. That means a lot to me as well. But yeah, you know, it's great seeing names that you haven't seen. It's great seeing names like Goguma, Wikipedia, Cubes, these people that, you know, always been here, always supporting us in the comments and the chat. Now we got the Patreon, so people are supporting us there as well. And to me, the amount of support we've gotten on Patreon and on YouTube this past couple months, since we really started focusing on us and doing our thing, really has been overwhelming. I tell my wife all the time how thankful I am for everyone that's a part of this little family, this little movement we're starting here on this channel. I mean, I don't know what you want to call it, the wetness movement, whatever. We're out here, we show love, we debate, we have a good time, and at the end of the day, like, we all love Tottenham, and I love Tottenham, and I love everyone here. So yeah, man, I'm super thankful as well. I just think you can't say thank you enough, and it's never a bad time for a hug. So think about that next time you want to hug somebody.
Want to real quick before we move on, want to give our man of the match and BDE. As we always do, we are keeping account as well. And Jacob, I think you're just gonna have to put one name down 2 times, my friend, because I'll keep it short, I'll keep it simple, and I'll keep it sweet. Your man of the match and your BDE of the match is right here. If there's any objections in the chat, please let me know. But I think this is pretty unanimous this week. What about you? I'm just gonna keep bringing this up. I'm literally just gonna keep bringing this up for the entirety of this episode. He deserves it.
Like, I'm trying to find an argument. You know, maybe Hugo's honorable mention for man of the match or BDE because of Hugh standing on his head. You know, I don't know. It's hard to go against Sonny when he bag a hat trick and he does in like under 14 minutes. That is absurd. So for me, yeah, bro, Sonny, man of the match, Sonny, BDE of the match, Sonny. I mean, what else can you ask the man to do when he comes off the bench other than give you a fucking hat trick? He's the king. He's the man. He's everything we've ever wanted in a man. He's Heung-min daddy, so man. Also, big ups. I don't know if you're saying someone got COVID, but I hope you feel better. Yeah, because don't want to hug.
I had the same thing, so I just want to say big up Cubed. I had the same thing 2 weeks ago.
Big up Goguma.
Big up Goguma. All right, my friend.
Yes, sir.
Last topic. I know you especially wanted to bring it up. I think it's something that you're maybe a little bit more passionate than I am, just because I try not to listen to all the noise surrounding our club. But there have been rumors that Conte is linked to Juventus because they're doing just so horrid right now to start Serie A. Allegri's job is under fire. He is under a lot of pressure right now. A lot of people are calling for him to be sacked. Apparently, he's lost the dressing room. There's a lot of talk that Conte is the likely replacement if he does end up getting sacked this season. So, Jacob, I'll go ahead and let you start it off, man. But for me, watch Conte cam and watch the way he reacts to Son's hat trick, and tell me again after watching that you think that he's gonna go to Juventus. That's all I have to say about it.
You're right.
Watch Conte cam.
You're right, Michael. You definitely spend a lot less time listening to the bullshit, and maybe that's why I get so upset and I get so emotional at times. But this, I think, is just when international break or there's no football for any amount of time. Fucking journalists, whether it be England, whether it be Italy, they love talking and stirring and talking. And that's clearly what they're doing. They're like, well, his family still lives in Italy. So clearly, bro, how many managers in the world are somewhere else that their family's not? He's not the only one. This isn't a foreign idea of being away from your family for extended periods during a season. He's with his family right now. I'm pretty sure he probably flew his ass to Italy or flew them in town. It's not like we're on COVID lockdown again where countries aren't letting people fly around and visit your family. So I don't think it's that big a deal on the family aspect. I know he's a family man and family comes first. But if you see the way he embraces Perisic on one of them Sonny goals, you'd be damn surprised that Perisic ain't his brother or something, because that was some love being shared. The hugs he has for Sonny, whether it be subbing Sonny off after he has what players have said, what fans have said is a poor game or a poor performance, when Sonny's hanging his head because he feels the same way as the fans. Conte always hugs him. Always hugs him. Who's someone in your life, Michael, that whether they do good, they do bad, they do anything in between, you still are going to give them a hug?
Antonio Conte.
Well, of course, Antonio Conte. But I would say your family. My answer would be family
Harry
is
Kane,
Harry Kane. But see, I consider them part of my family. That's just that. And I think Antonio Conte considers Son, Kane, etc. a part of his family. Now Kulu, now Bentancur, Romero. I mean, these guys are all like, we're building something special. Now, if we make it to the motherfucking moon this year, remains to be seen. I'm not going to say we can't do it. But a year from now, 2 years from now, Conte alluded that he's at least going to be here 3 more windows. And until he says something to contradict that, I'm riding with that, and I don't care what no one says. I don't care what no journalists publish. I don't care what no media member says. I don't care what no fans on YouTube, such as myself, say. I don't care when it comes to Antonio Conte leaving Spurs, because I'm not going to imagine a reality in which he's not my manager. I'm not going to imagine a reality in which he is not helping build something for this club. And he's doing it right now. It's happening in front of our eyes. And it's still something special to watch on the way up. And man, we just got to sit back and be thankful. And if you ain't thankful for what you're witnessing right now, you need a hug.
You better start getting on your knees and praying.
Or get a fucking hug. Feel the love in your life, man, because it's a special time to be a Tottenham Hotspur fan, supporter. But Antonio Conte's not leaving. He's not. He's not.
I'm not fucking leaving.
Fuck Juve. Didn't they do him dirty? They didn't back him or something? Then he left? Something like that? So, man, fuck all that noise. I ain't trying to listen to none of that. That's just my opinion. That's how I feel. If you feel differently, that's fine. You can worry if you want. But if you want something to hold tight at night. Yeah. Okay, Jesse Dyer said no, he left for Italy national team when he left Juve. It sounds like he's already done his Juve thing. He's done his Italian thing. This is a mountain he has yet to climb. Not only Tottenham Hotspur, but breaking the curse for us. Potentially breaking his UCL curse. I still believe that that's something he's going to want to do with us. That's how I want to see it. Real quick, Goguma says, I loved when Perisic ran out to Sonny to hug him on the first goal. Got a yellow card. He's so awesome.
Hell yeah.
I mean, and that's what's special. You look at some of these pictures and videos coming out, these new guys, Perisic, Basuma, how closely they've already integrated into being buddies with Sonny, being buddies with people on the team. And like, this is something, man, we're building something. That's just, and I feel that. I wholeheartedly feel that, bro.
I agree. Any final thoughts, my friend, before we wrap up this edition of the pod? This was a fun one. This was definitely a fun one. The vibes were immaculate on this one.
My final thought, usually when I do my final thought, I come back to Sonny in some way. This majority of this pod
It is obligated, I feel like.
My final thought, I'm going to show the back of my jersey real quick.
Eat.
Hey.
Busy
I got
boy.
that Basuma 38, just so y'all know. I love and appreciate that,
He's
man.
He's officially a real fan of Basuma. We had been. It's an inside joke from the streams, but
yeah, it's definitely an inside joke for the streams. But big shout out to whoever the fuck sold me this kit, because it came in record timing. It wasn't supposed to be here till November, and it showed up today, so that was pretty cool. My final thought is, I love me some Tottenham Hotspur. I love me some Sonny. I love the feeling like. Actually, I'm gonna leave you with this. My final thought. I think I already told you this, but I'm gonna share it publicly. At full time, I was very emotional. Unfortunately, they switched the game over pretty quickly after, so I didn't get to watch the whole coverage at the end. But Heung-min's son made me feel a lot of things that at full time, my wife was in the hallway and I just said, "Baby, can you come here? I need a hug." Mm-hmm. She's like, "What's wrong? What happened? I thought y'all won." I said, y'all were up 5-2. What happened? And I told her,
everything happened.
I'm just feeling very emotional right now. Sonny's got his hat trick, and I tried to explain. I failed this system. I'm usually better at messing with Mike. Yeah, she real good at messing with me though. I'm very easily distractible. But Sonny made me feel a lot of things where I just needed to hold my wife. I kissed my son. He was napping at the time. I did yell a lot, so I did wake him up a couple times. But I went there and I gave him a little smoochy smooch, because Heung-min's son just reminded me why I fucking love him and Tottenham and the game, and he just reminded me all these things. It was like a flood of emotion for me personally, to where I just needed to hug my wife and hold her and tell her what Son did today, what he's been up against and what he's done. And fuck, man, it was emotional. My final thought was just, damn, that was emotional. Good emotions. You know what I mean? A lot of times you need to find something in life to celebrate, and I'm fucking celebrating the shit out of that. You believe that? I'm still buzzing. It's been damn near a week. What you got any final thoughts for me, my friend?
My final thought. He's back. He's just back.
It's fucking back, baby.
I guess my final thought is it's why we love the beautiful game, right? These are some of the. I had already said it. We've been witnessing history. We've been, witnessing so many milestones that have been accomplished, whether it be Harry Kane, Heung-min Son, other players on the team. It's just another day as a Tottenham Hotspur fan, right? It's why we love the beautiful game. This club always keeps us on our toes. I just hope that next week they make us proud. That's all I'm gonna say. Thank you so much for listening to another edition of the United Spurs of America podcast. As always, if you want to become an official sponsor, go to patreon.com/United Spurs of America. Jacob, you want to give a shout out real quick to our official sponsors club? And I don't know if you were able to update it, but we do have a new member.
Oh yeah. I'm going to start with the newest member first, just because he signed up tonight during this stream. David. Sir David. Big ups, my friend. I start his comment too, because just want to say big ups yourself. He says big up us, loves the content, our passion for Sonny.
Big up, David.
That's something you can always expect here. It's content, passion, and a lot of passion for Sonny. So, J-Co, I apologize. This is too short. This is just an episode. We wanted to recap the game. Friday will be a little bit longer. We'll talk about
Friday's
all the
always
new.
longer. Don't worry, J-Co.
Yeah, J-Co, trust me. So apologies if this was too short for you.
You're guaranteed at least an hour and a half of content, J-Co. Don't worry.
Yeah, so definitely tune in Friday, 12:30 Mountain Time, 7:30 British Time, 2:30 Eastern Time if you're in the eastern side there of America. But damn it, I was trying to stall long enough to get the ticker to come back so I can read the names, and then like it went to the end. But I did go ahead and I put the link there in the chat. So if you want to become a member like David did tonight, you can do that. I pinned it as well to the top of the chat. Our patrons right now, the sole member, the proprietor, whatever you want to say, Alan Tenich Sibley, much love, my brother, much love, my friend, member there of the Soggy Undies Club. And then in the 10-inch club, we have Queen Ellie, Tottenham Till I Die, Leo COYS 1882 with Mile High Hotspur, Goguma, C. Shearman, and Faraz in the 10-inch club. Official sponsors club is James George, J. Co., Mile High Hotspur. He's doubled up. Scott M. and David, the newest member. David in the house. In the Lovers Lane Club as well. We got 3 Spurs boys and C Cube. Much motherfucking love to all of y'all on that list. Even if you're not on that list, if you just tuned in, you hit that like, you hit that subscribe, you talking to us in the comments. We appreciate you as well. And you're near and dear to us. So big shout outs to those motherfuckers out there. I love you all so much. Michael and I love you so much as well.
I love you too so much as well. And you brought up a good point, Jacob. Make sure to tune in on Friday, 2:30 p.m. Eastern Time, 7:30 p.m. UK time. We'll be locked in live right here on YouTube. We'll be talking international duty. We'll be talking about potential injuries. We'll be talking about FIFA probably, and we'll be talking a little bit. We'll be talking a little bit, maybe, about a potential North London derby next week. But as always, we'll have our official preview the following Friday. But for this week, it is international break, so please stay safe out there. Please make sure you hug your families close, hug your loved ones close, keep them tight, keep them close. Jacob, I love you, man. Thank you so much for joining me today on another edition of the United Spurs of America podcast. We'll see you on Friday. Big up the lads, big up Sonny, and Jacob.
Come on, you Spurs. Sonny, I love you so much.
United Spurs of America with your hosts, Michael and Jacob.